Well, good morning from Bugsville. We've got mosquitoes. As you would expect, it's a warm-ish spring morning, and they are out. However, only had a teeny bit of drizzle this morning, and heard some gusts, but it's largely pretty calm. So we are going to move to Polly today. We're skipping breakfast. We're just gonna have some bars, some snacks, and get moving. So it is currently 6:42. We're hoping to be out of here by 7:30. Yeah, should be hopefully a decent day of travel. Hopefully we don't have to wait for too many people on the portages, but you know, can't be that bad, especially if we're splitting our travel day into two. And then also hoping there's still campsites on Polly. There were plenty when we passed through, but who knows what it's like now. Maybe a lot of people are doing what we're doing, so we'll see you on the water. All right, we are finally on the water. It is 7:39, so just after our goal. And mosquitoes are following us out onto the water, obviously. So head net is still on, Puffy is still on, but as soon as we make some ground, hopefully we'll be able to leave them behind us and I can take my jacket off because I am hot right now. This would be a fantastic morning for top water, honestly. But cutting our exit in half is more important. So we're just gonna cruise on out to Polly. And hopefully, we'll get there early enough, find a site. Hopefully we won't have to look for one. That isn't little slim pickings last priority for everyone. And we'll be able to have lunch and then do some fishing. Alright, we're on Coma. It's 8:37, so making okay time here. Yeah, it's actually exactly an hour since we left our campsite on Malberg. Spent a little time at the big rock, the glacial erratic, I think it is. But we got to look out for all these rocks on Coma. This area near the Malberg portage is just littered with subsurface boulders. And water being low, it definitely seems low everywhere else we've been. They may not have been a problem in past years, but I think we want to be careful of them. All right, we are on Polly exactly 3 hours from when we left, 10:37. So pretty awesome, feeling really, really good. Had just a tiny bit of drizzle today, but it's been awesome. Only one group that passed over us and they're exiting, so we don't have to compete with them for sites. So just gonna go look for a site now and then hopefully catch some walleye for lunch. Holly's really wanting a fish fry, so let's see if we can make that happen. All right, we just went from a shanty to a mansion. Found this awesome site on Polly on this little island. Holly's checking out the latrine right now, but it's nice and open here. Just real nice. And then as we come across over here, big open area, two generous tent pads. Looking real nice here. So I'm stoked. A lot of the campsites up north were taken. Would have been nice to catch some up there, or to get a site, just because it looks really nice up there, and there's a lot of islands, so we can fish the back side of them with top water for some bass. But we're gonna go for some walleye, so we'll probably be trolling around. We'll be drifting probably, just to make our lives easy, and then paddle back. But yeah, oh, and it's a thin grate, a thin fire grate. I've always had the thick ones. I can't remember the time I had a thin one. The thick ones are like twice as thick, like the gaps are as large as these bars. So that's kind of cool. First time for me, and it's big too. If you were gonna cook under that, you'd have to move it up, but I'm stoked. Holly, are you stoked?
Oh, I'm stoked.
So
yeah.
Stoked.
This is a nice site.
All right, we're gonna stop using the word stoked, and we're gonna pull the canoe up and set up camp. It's 11 o'clock on the dot, so 3.5 hours to find a site on Polly. Thrilled. I know it's a little windy, but guys, I cannot tell you how happy we are to have this site. Just eating some teriyaki jerky here. Gonna set up the tent and probably go hit this walleye chop. Troll some divers. Try not to run into the rocks that are in the middle of the lake. Should be a good time. Should be a good time. All right, we are on the water. We're doing a little fishing. It's just after 1:01. We had some lunch, so we're not doing a fish fry for lunch, but we may have an early fish dinner. Got the stringer, bump board, scale, fish finder, it's all here. We got the rod holders. We're gonna be trolling as soon as we get out of this really rocky area. So let's hope that some fish are biting today. It's cloudy. Hopefully they're chewing. Water temps are a little bit lower than Malberg as well. 60 degrees just about. So anyway, yeah, as soon as we clear this boulder field, we are going to drop down some crankbaits and just probably do a lot of drifting with the wind. And then if that yields no fish after maybe 45 minutes, an hour, we'll probably just resort to a bay and see if we can get some bass on topwater, because that's too much fun. All right, we are headed back into camp. It's a little after 4, so we've been out for 3 hours and not a bite. Not a bite. Talked to a couple people. They said it's been tough, but they had these two guys had 2 walleye and 3 pike. They didn't say over how long. And then we passed by this group of younger guys at their campsite just throwing out something on bobbers. They had like a bait bucket. Could be minnows, could be leeches, but right as we're passing by, telling him that we trolled for an hour and a half with no bites, he pulls out a walleye. So they're here, they're just not eating anything we're throwing. Black hair jigs, swim bait, different trolling baits, the jointed shad wrap, the scatter wrap, the shad wrap. Yeah, so we are gonna go lay in the tent for a little bit. Sorry, I think I have food in my teeth, but we're gonna go lay in the tent for a little bit, just chill out. There's some thunder, kind of cool to listen to, but it is cold out here. Not the most fun thing to be out in. So we are just gonna hunker down for a little bit, and maybe we'll go out fishing later if it gets a little better, but otherwise we're just gonna hang around. So yeah, we'll be in the tent. Oh my goodness! Oh my god! Excellent. Wow, I'm glad we went in the tent. Wow, 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 wow. Well, we had some visitors to our site. While it was storming, they got caught in the storm. Had obviously crazy rain, hail, lightning, and so they pulled up at our campsite and came to the tent, and they were like shouting because it was so loud. And they were just like, "Hey, can we stay here? We just need to get out of the storm." And we were like, "Yes, I wish we had like a tarp or something for you guys." So they pulled their canoe up and went and set up a quick tarp shelter thing. I think they just draped a tarp over themselves and sitting in chairs basically, but they didn't have any rain gear on. They were like soaked. But we're happy to let them stay over here. Obviously this is a huge site, so they found a nice little spot to just chill. And now we have just the aftermath. Everything's wet. There's no puddles anywhere actually, so all of this really absorbed into the ground quite quickly actually. But the chairs got all dirty. This isn't as dirty as I thought it was, but the back is real dirty. Tackle was sitting at the bottom of the canoe, so that's just soaked. So I'm gonna have to leave that open and try and let it dry somehow. And then we got the water at the bottom of the canoe, and the fish finder was there. Now all these connections are waterproof. They all seal with gaskets. There's covers over all this stuff. The fish finder is meant to be used in the rain on a boat, so it's fine. This battery is sealed. This is all, you know, pretty tight. I wrapped a lot of electrical tape around here, so I think that's all good, but remains to be seen if that will even function after this. So that's cool. You know, I didn't think it would rain like crazy, so I didn't take all that stuff out. I didn't think about even where I would put it really. So yeah, pretty crazy. Pretty crazy. It's all pretty gray, but it broke. I don't know, could storm again. We'll find out. We'll try and put a few things away so that if it does happen again, at least not everything is as wet. So anyway, time to make some dinner and try to stay dry. All right, guys. Well, I don't know if you can see me. I might try and boost this in post, but yep, heading to bed. We got everything packed up. All the wet stuff is drying, hopefully, and yeah, we're going to be up at 6 a.m. tomorrow to leave and head home. Looking forward to it. It's been an all right trip, but we're really looking forward to getting home. So we will see you tomorrow. Good morning. It's about 6:30, 6:40 on Monday. It's Memorial Day, and it rained more last night, so everything is just wet. But we are, we're gonna pack it up. We're gonna get out of here. We got about 3.5 hours ish out, and yeah, hopefully don't have to wait on too many people. Hopefully we're pretty early, so we're gonna get moving, and we'll see you on the water. All right, we are on the water. 7:54. Just about an hour later than we were planning, but everything is wet, everything is dirty, and it took us a long time to pack everything up because we didn't want to get ourselves super dirty. And yeah, we also laid in the tent till about 6:20, just waking up. So I don't really regret it. Maybe we'll regret it later if we run into like 7 groups waiting to get over a beaver dam, but for now, all is well. So we're just getting going. Beautiful morning paddle. Honestly, just glass. It's cruel that the 2 mornings we've woken up. Oh, I don't know. Maybe there were some mornings on Malberg that we stayed there with calm, but it'd be awesome to just go out for some topwater this morning. But we gotta move. And I think the water's probably pretty cold from all that rain anyway, so. I just finished the portage from Town Line to Kawasachong or Kawasachong. I'm not sure how to pronounce it, but it's like a 185, and man, was I glad to see that water. Oh man. I'm gonna take a quick breather, drink some water, and then head back for the second load. Ooh, buddy. Alright, we are past the beaver dam where you have to actually portage over, unload all your stuff, which is great because that's one I wasn't super looking forward to, and that's one that takes up some time. So that's gone, and then we just have one more that we'll have to get out on and push the canoe using the bow line, just the rope at the front of the canoe, and yeah, then it's just paddling. I think we have one beaver dam we can just paddle right over the top of. So yeah, we're We're looking good. One of 2 challenges complete. It's 10:39. Just gonna try and cruise on through.
Today.
Wait, this is the one we had to step over. Wow. Well, the water level didn't seem to do shit.
Yeah.
Should we go to the right?
Yeah, I think let's go back to where we were, or where we did it the first time. Gotta avoid these logs. Okay.
Piece of cake.
It was a lot easier this time around.
Wow. Wow.
Okay.
That's what I'm talking about. Oh, yeah. Alright, before we go any further, which way do we need to go? I think we go straight here through.
I think this just goes around this little leafy island.
Oh my gosh. I think I might have got that on video.
I hope you did.
Holy crap.
That scared me.
As soon as we were saying.
There's no whitetails here.
Holly and I were talking about how how the Boundary Waters is just like a great place for animals. Like they can just live their most natural lives here. And we were talking about how like it's weird that you don't see deer here because there's deer all over Minnesota. And I know maybe they're a little bit rarer in northern Minnesota, but you know, I said I'd never seen one here. And then we came around this corner and did a turn, and all of a sudden this doe just bounded right across, right in front of us. I think I got it on film. So that was really cool. She was just jumping, white tail sticking straight up. Wow, that was sweet. All right, we are just heading out of the Kawishui River into Kawishui Lake. Made some really good time, and it's 11:36. So I thought we were going to be back at the launch by 12:30. I think we'll be back at the launch by 12, maybe just after, depending on how much this headwind hits us. But Man, what a beautiful paddle on the river. Hard, just barely enough of a breeze to keep you cool. Some clouds to keep you cool. Thankfully, not a lot of bugs back there. Hard to ask for a better exit paddle. It's just been glass like all day. Wish I was fishing topwater, but you know, I'm also glad to be going home. So, it's been a pretty decent trip. It's had its downs, but it's had its ups. And honestly, this exit day is one big up, I'll say. Well, we're about 45 seconds from the launch here. So I'm gonna call it here. It's 12:03, so just about 30 minutes from exiting the river. It's been a good trip, like I said, and I think I'd like to come back to this area, some parts of it at some point, maybe through a different entry point. So we're just gonna get the car loaded up, make the drive back down to Tofty, drop this canoe off at Sawtooth, and grab some food before heading down the North Shore. I think we might do a little agate picking for Holly. We'll see. But thanks for watching. Hope you've enjoyed it, and yeah, stay tuned. Got more trips coming up, and there will always be more to come.